What's good, fellas? My name's Andy, and today we're looking at the smartest player in NBA history. Just to clarify, I don't mean smart as in basketball IQ or anything like that. I mean smart as in off-court intelligence, education, and academic success. The player I'm talking about in this video is Bill Bradley, who played in the NBA for 10 seasons from 1967 to 1977. As strictly a basketball player, Bradley was pretty successful too. In 1961, he was considered as the best high school player in the country. He was offered a full ride to Duke University, and he almost accepted the offer. But after suffering a couple of foot injuries while playing other sports, he realized that basketball might not be the best career path for him. At the time, the NBA was relatively new and players didn't make anywhere near as much money as they do today. So instead, Bradley wanted to prepare himself for a different field in case the NBA didn't work out. So he decided to go to Princeton, which I'm sure, as you all know, is one of the best colleges in the entire world. Princeton does a good job of preparing students who want to go into a political field, which is what Bradley was looking to do after his basketball days were over. He was heavily influenced by his parents, who introduced politics to him at an early age. At Princeton, Bradley worked diligently on his studies, but at the same time, he was also considered the #1 college basketball player in the country. He was a 6'5" small forward and averaged over 30 points per game in his 3 years there. People used to call him the White Oscar Robertson. Bradley won a bunch of different Player of the Year awards at Princeton, and he got drafted by the NBA in 1965 by the New York Knicks. But he did not want to go to the NBA just yet. Right after graduating from Princeton with honors, he was offered a Rhodes Scholarship to attend the University of Oxford in England. The Rhodes Scholarship is basically one of the most prestigious graduate scholarships a student can receive. So Bradley went to Oxford and studied politics, philosophy, and economics there for a couple of years. And then he decided to take a break to join the Air Force Reserves in 1967. And then he eventually returned to Oxford and graduated. What's even crazier is that while he was attending Oxford, he was also commuting to Italy to play basketball in the Euroleague for a team called Olimpia Milano. So this is pretty insane. Bradley and his team even won the Euroleague championship in 1966. I don't know how he managed to balance his schoolwork and basketball like this, but it seemed to work well for him. Bradley eventually came to the NBA and joined the Knicks halfway through the 1967 to 68 season, and he hit the ground running. The Knicks were the only team he played for during his career, and that lasted for 10 seasons. But we're not going to get into the details of his NBA career since this is not what the video is about. Here's some numbers though. He finished his career with averages of 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists on 45% shooting, and he also had one All-Star appearance in 1973. In his All-Star season, he averaged 16.1 points, 3.7 rebounds, and 4.5 assists, which honestly seems kinda mediocre. But the Knicks won 57 games and the championship that year. Bradley won another championship in 1970 as well. He was an important piece on those Knicks teams, which were led by Walt Frazier and Willis Reed. Despite having a relatively average NBA career and not receiving many accolades, Bradley was still inducted into the Hall of Fame, mainly because of his incredible college years at Princeton. And that pretty much sums up his basketball career. Bradley is also one of the only 2 players in history who won an NBA championship, Euroleague championship, and Olympic gold medal. The only other player who's done that is Manu Ginobili. Anyway, right after Bradley retired in 1977, he immediately ran for a seat in the Senate, representing New Jersey, my home state. He got the seat in the Senate pretty quickly and ended up serving 18 years as a senator. Some of the policies and reforms that he was involved in included new child support laws, tax code charges, health plans, and even a more controversial state income tax regulation. During his time in office, he was sometimes seen as being aloof and not really caring about what was going on, as he would spend a lot of time just relaxing or going on vacations. It kinda rubbed some people the wrong way, and Bradley would get criticized for acting like that, but that didn't faze him. He even tried to run for president in 2000 as part of the Democratic Party, and he actually had a really strong campaign in the beginning. During his campaign, the main issues that he wanted to address were teen pregnancy, child poverty, gun control, and an overall increase in quality of life for lower-class citizens.
It's time for us to believe in something that will give every American an opportunity to succeed and be viewed equally. That's why I'm supporting Bill Bradley for president. Shouldn't you?
However, his campaign fizzled out during the primaries because fellow Senator John McCain's campaign received way more attention and funding. So after he withdrew from his presidential campaign, he would go on to support Al Gore, who would eventually lose the election to George Bush. In addition to politics, Bradley has also worked as an investment banker and consultant for a couple of high-end corporations. He was an advisor for McKinsey & Company from 2001 to 2004, a managing director for Allen & Company, and also worked for several non-profit charities. Right now, Bradley's working as a corporate director for Starbucks. He even wrote and published 6 different books about his life, his basketball career, political career, the Air Force, Wall Street, everything. And if that's not enough, he also hosts his own weekly radio show called American Voices on Sirius Satellite Radio. This man did everything, well, except for like some math or science related stuff. Now, his family was pretty wealthy growing up, so he definitely had some help in getting to certain places in his career. But still, that shouldn't take away from the ridiculous amount of work he had to do to get to those places. And that's all, ladies and gents. I hope you enjoyed that short video on Bill Bradley. It's funny because I grew up in New Jersey, so I actually knew about him as a senator before I even found out he played in the NBA. But not many people know about him or what he did outside of basketball, so I just wanted to share this with everyone. Anyway, thanks for watching, and thank you again for 60,000 subs, and I'll see you next time.